Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Serial Gaming here, and today we're gonna go through Maria's new Crystal Level 90 rework as well as the worst LD that we'll ever get in post Crystal Level 90 era, which is Thancred. I hope I pronounced it correctly, but anyway, we start with Maria first. Maria does get a rework with her skill. Her skill 1 now is a 2 single target HP attack with 50% splash. And her skill 2 is a 2 AoE split HP attack. Nothing too fancy otherwise. Her LD does get a small rework as well. It's now a 4 AoE HP attack, and it provides a new 20% party HP damage up on her LD buff. Her LD also has more bravery attack right now on the trap that is triggered pre-enemy turn, but that is not really too big of a concern. Anyway, her EX with the Crystal Level 90 now does a 3 single target HP attack with a 50% splash. And it also improved her EX debuff as well. Now it set more bravery from the enemy and grant more bravery to the party after each enemy turns. Her additional ability now extended up to 5 turns, which of course heal the party and provide a 20% party attack and brave damage limiter. Alright, so Maria previously was very good with her LD release. She's now still decent. I would say that she's still a very decent supportive unit because of the aura Brave Gain Up is always a very nice aura to have. The guarantee 100% gravity pre-enemy turn on her LD debuff is also a very nice situational utility to have, since it does make your run safer, especially if you're running with stages without a tank. The LD debuff trap also has a healing capability, although it's like Furion, not entirely reliable if you want to get a burst heal, especially when you are trying to get your party heal up before you're taking the enemy HP attack. So if you want to run Maria as a healer, you might want to push more of her skill 2 button, but otherwise do not try to rely too much on her LD heals. Regardless though, Maria, like I said, she's very good as a support and a utility user, but one thing she lacks in my opinion, even with all this rework, is that her on-turn damage is just pretty bad. Even her off-turn only does 1 single target HP attack, so in this current era, even as a support, this amount of HP dumps is just really bad. So I think that's the only flaws of using Maria in the party. Do know that her LD call does perform her LD debuff ability, does inflict that LD debuff, but it just doesn't inflict for a very long time. So if you're going for the 20% HP damage up that her LD call provides, there's just far better option. If you're going for that niche situation where you need the 100% gravity down before the enemy turn, then yes, you might want to go for her LD core. But otherwise, she's just quite lacking right now, being in the party itself. Regardless, if you're trying to run her in the party still, I would say, like I said before, Brave Gain Up is always nice. So if you're trying to run her with a team composition synergy, units like Snow, Selfie or Ramza that benefits a lot from that Brave Gain Up is always a good thing to have. Of course, since her traps goes off pre-enemy turns, means that she's gonna be good with you letting the enemy getting turns, so trappers and counters are always welcome, like Furion, Oran, Core, the usual. You can even pair her with turn hoggers actually, but she'll be more of a support rather than a utility. Anyway, moving on to the next one, which is Thancred. Alright, so Thancred is rumored to be the worst LD, the worst new LD that we're gonna have post Crystal Level 90 era. In my opinion, I think that's quite fair. Anyway, let's go into his kit first. His skill 1 is a 2 single target HP attack, which add 2 stacks of his overhead buff. His skill 2 also add 2 stacks of his overhead buff, which is a 2 single target HP attack with a 50% splash. His EX, which if you're going to use his EX, I always recommend using the EX Plus, which is only available when he has 3 or more on his overhead stack, is a 4 single target HP attack with 50% splash on each HP attack, and it consumes 3 overhead stacks. Sorry, I mean stacks. I can't speak well. Anyway, there's a new Bravery plus attack as well. I'm not sure whether it's new or it's there before, but it now grants a 1 single target HP attack, and it consumes 0 bravery, and it's a free turn and provides free ability after this turn to the next skill. But it does consume 3 overhead stacks like his EX. So it's basically you're gonna come down with either using his EX for a greater damage or his bravery plus for more turns and more longevity. So it really depends on which utility you're trying to make him go for. Anyway, his additional ability with the Crystal Level 90 upgrade now has a 1 single target HP attack, and it provides a 30% self attack and brave damage limit up for 4 turns. It also poisons all the enemies for 6 turns, but that's about it. His new LD is now a 6 single target HP attack, and it provides him the LD buff for 16 turns. And it also adds 5 stacks to his LD buff, since his LD buff is already active at quest start, so you can just use this to add up the stacks and maintain the buff as well. It adds 1 stack every Thancred's own turn, and it provides a 30% brave damage up and a 20% HP damage and overflow up. So at 5 stacks of his LD buff, his HP attack will be converted and will be available. It will perform a 3 single target HP attack with 50% splash and extends Thancred's own buff for 1 turn. It is also a free turn skill, and it uses up 4 of his LD stacks. So basically there's gonna be a lot of stacks in Thancred's kit. It also lands a new debuff called Trick Attack, which lasted for 4 turns on all the enemy. This debuff provides a HP damage taken by 20%, as well as it provides a buff on Thancred's LD buff, which increase a 30% brave damage when Thancred target the enemy with this debuff. So based on the idea of Thancred's kit, I say that he's a unnecessary complicated character with very simplistic damage. Like, he has so much to go for, but then again so little to give. His HP attack is so bad right now as a damage dealer. He only has 2 single target HP attack on both of his skill. And his EX has 4, which is nice, but using his EX means that you're gonna sacrifice his free ability or his capability as a turn hogger, and then his bravery attack, which is the one that he needs to use as a turn hogger, only has 1 single target HP attack. His strongest attack is probably his LD, or if you cancel out the LD and the EX, his stronger attack is going to be his HP attack, which also relies on the stacks that he needs to perform this amount of HP attack. And it's not really a lot as well, it's only 3 single target HP attack with a 50% splash. So I'll say that for such a complex requirement, the damage is just so bad to actually covers up for you to actually use him. Probably why people actually opt for better characters like better turn hoggers like Papalymo, Elise, Zell, Lightning, Terra, Titus. All Final Fantasy 14 character has a complexity in their kit, which I entirely understand, but like I said, for such a completely unnecessary complexity in his kit, he's just doing so little while having to do so much. Yeah, if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Anyway, so if you still want to run him in the party, like I said, he's a turn hogger, I would say that you want to go for his turn hogging capability rather than having that big damage from his EX, since it's not really that big as well. So if you're going for the turn hogging capability, just basically link up all the usual, like the Link and then follow-up attackers like Core, Kane, or even the upcoming Cisne. Or if you want to abuse the utilities such as Selfie's Launch or Laguna's BT effect, which is the grenade. But like I said, he's very easily replaceable, which makes him a lot less desirable. All in all, this is quite a very bad banner. I normally won't say that a banner is bad, but I'll just straight up say that Thancred is just not worth the hassle right now. You need to learn how to use his kit while not having a lot of benefit out of it. So if you're gonna pull on this banner, I think the only reason you want to go for is Laguna's BT. If you have his BT, it's quite safe for you to skip him. I might pull on him just for fun and just to test him out, because he does seem quite fun, but other than that, I don't see a very good reason to go for him. even Maria doesn't justify this banner enough for you to go for it. You can just skip Maria and opt for better unit later down the line. But anyway, that's my opinion on this banner. I hope it helps. So what about you guys? Are you guys gonna pull for this character, or are you guys gonna be like me and skip? Alright guys, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.